Got it. Got it.
Good evening and welcome to Mesmer Stadium, where tonight the Haynes Academy Yellow Jackets have made the drive all the way from Metairie to come up and play the Loyola Flyers. Hi, I'm David Winkler, my normal partner in crime, John Carmody, over here, and today we're joined by the Lou Groza Award winner himself, Art Carmody, on the field. We're in his domain tonight, John, down here on the field.
Thanks for including me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Haynes Academy is coming off of a 5-game losing streak. They haven't won a single game on the road, and they're coming in here to Mesmer tonight to play a Flyer team that's won 6 in a row, is undefeated at home. So the Yellow Jackets guys, I think they have their hands full tonight here with the mighty Flyers.
You know, one of the things that's interesting, David, is that last weekend we lose Trey Taylor, and you know they talk about in boxing, you know, the best pound-for-pound boxer there is. I would venture to say that Trey may be the best pound-for-pound football player in this area right now. He has been exceptional this year, but he was lost in the second play or third offensive play of the game. And to lose Trey, the heart of your offense, and to go and shut out a Mansfield team that has played very well throughout the season and really had a high-powered offense, says a lot about the resiliency of this team, and it says a lot about how they have come to understand how Mike Green wants to play football. And he wants a good defense out there. And so I think throughout the rest of the playoffs, they're going to have to contend without having Trey available to them, but it's going to be defense that's going to lead the way.
So, you know, we hear about the defense. What's your take on the offensive side? It looks like Grayson Hutchins is going to get a start tonight at wide receiver for the Flyers. You can't replace Trey Taylor, and you know, I don't think he's going to try to. So what does Grayson Hutchins have to do to try to make his mark on this game tonight?
Well, I think not just Grayson, but the entire offense in general. We've seen it countless times throughout the season where you get in that third and long situation, you need a play, and they always go to Trey Taylor. And I think it'll be key to see what offensive skill guys step up and allow different options for Jacob Lafitte. And I think it's going to be great for Jacob. You know, everybody knew that he was looking at Trey Taylor, and now to be able to mix it up and distributing the ball to other playmakers, just maybe it opens up a more dynamic offense than what we've seen this past year.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be exciting. The road to Cajun Field starts tonight here in Mesmer. We'll be right back. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
Some think the best place for cancer treatment is a long way away. We believe in the healing power of home at Christus Cancer Treatment Center.
Thank you all for coming. But this party isn't for me, it's for Tom, for all the rides to chemo. And to Joanne for the casseroles. And Sarah for making this hair kind of work. Thank you.
Treat your cancer where your life is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
All right, welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. 6:06 left before kickoff. Looks like the captains have left the field of play. Looks like the kickoff team has taken the field for the Flyers, so the Flyers have won the toss and deferred to the second half. They're going to kick off with the wind at their back. They'll be going north to south. So, John, we didn't get a chance to really touch on Haynes Academy and their shall we say, unique style of offense. Folks, you're going to see some innovative, should we call it innovative offense tonight, John? Try to give a little bit of an explanation as to what the Flyer fans might expect to see out of the Yellow Jackets tonight.
Well, I mean, they run the old swinging gate plays, and most teams run those swinging gate plays on extra point type situations, and we've seen Haynes Academy, they like to run it throughout the field, which is a very interesting concept. They're looking for numbers, and so they're playing to see what the defense is going to do.
And Lafitte kickoff like it has done so many times before. Sails into the end zone for a touchback, and the Yellow Jackets will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
20-yard line.
And then they like to run in kind of a unique power I formation where they have two, a running back and the quarterback in the back, and kind of giving the center the option of where he's actually going to snap the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see what they start out here with the Flyers, to see if the defense has been on its toes and doing its research getting into this game.
The quarterback is junior Chris Melton.
So Chris Milton will take the first snap for the Yellow Jackets. He's going to test the right side of the Flyer defense, the left side of the Flyer defense. And he maybe picked up a yard, if that. Looks like they might even just say he made it back to the line of scrimmage, or lost a yard, excuse me.
Yeah, Van Norman did a good job coming up the field right there and forced the quarterback to go out wider, and then Jacob Lafitte was able to come up and clean it up and push him out of bounds.
Again, Milton takes the snap, and he's going to go nowhere. Again, a loss of a yard, and they'll set up 3rd and 12.
So right now you can already see that Van Norman's done his homework in the scout room, because he played that very well, secured the end of the line, and the running back took it up and met the host of Flyer defenders.
The Yellow Jackets are moving into a pretty stiff wind, John. Winds sustained at about 15 miles an hour tonight. Kind of cool here in Messmer Stadium. So definitely an advantage to be heading towards the south end zone tonight. And again, the Jackets will carry, maybe pick up a yard that time. It'll make it 4th and 11.
One of the unique things of watching Haynes Academy on film is that many times in these 4th down situations, they'll line up in the same kind of power formation, and sometimes kick it, sometimes not. They seem to go for it in a lot of 4th down situations. Another unique situation.
Well, interestingly, it looks like the Jackets are not going to leave anything on the table. They seem to be setting up to go for 4th and 11 on their own 19-yard line, John.
And you can see that the Flyers certainly have seen this on tape, so they're not even setting up for a punt.
You would think after the first 3 plays, no, now they're going to step back into punting formation, and Milton's going to go ahead and kick it. It's a pretty decent kickoff. Going to take a Flyer bounce, though, back towards the south end zone. It'll be down at the 48. That's where the Flyers will have it for the first time tonight, 1st and 10.
I got a flag down on the far side of the field too, David, and it looks like Kenyatta Davis is maybe upset about something, so interesting to see what the officials call right here.
Calls personal foul against Loyola, so the penalty will be marked off at the end of where the ball was downed. So the Flyers will maintain possession, but they'll have it in a little worse field position to start their first possession of the night. They'll start out at their own 37 now after the penalty.
Yeah, that's one thing. You don't want to start out a game messy. You know, in a game that you are favored to win, you really do want to kind of start out being crisp.
So Jacob Lafitte will take his first snap of the night, and he'll drop back. He looked to pass, but he's going to hang on to this one. He's directing his traffic downfield. He's going to let it go. He wants Van Norman, and it's just a little over his head. And Van Norman can't come up with that one. It'll make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that play right there what they had a lot of deep patterns right there. I don't know if the receivers were going long because Jacob started to scramble or it just seemed like a very long pass play and didn't really have the timing down on that at all.
This time, Lafitte on a design run is going to pick up maybe 3 yards on the carry. We'll get it to the 40-yard line, and that'll make it 3rd and 7.
Gain of 3 to be 3rd and 7.
Lafitte's pass is complete, and that was, I believe that was John Ebarb who caught that one, unless my eyes are killing me. John, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I think that
was John Carmody. Sorry. God dang it. Hey, look, I'm not going to bring up the whole ophthalmology joke again every time I go through that with you. John Carmody with a nice reception.
On that reception.
First down for the Flyers. Cooper DeFata's going to carry that one to the 40 of the Yellow Jackets and make it 2nd down and 4.
And I will confirm that was Cooper DeFata that did run that ball.
Feet rolls right. And that time he wanted Grayson Hutchins, and Hutchins couldn't quite hang on to that one. Make it 3rd and 4.
But, I mean, this is Grayson's first action as wide receiver, replacing Trey Taylor. So I like the fact that they're trying to get Grayson involved early on. He's going to be a big part of what they're going to have to do in the playoffs. So you might as well get him acclimated quickly.
So 3rd and 4, 7:43 left in a scoreless first quarter. Lafitte's going to throw back. He's got Cooper DeFata. Cooper DeFata with nobody out there, one man to beat. 14 brings him down at the 5-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Eli Patella. And the Flyers now have it 1st and goal. Deep in Yellow Jacket territory, a 35-yard pitch and catch from Jacob to...
Jacob sells that play so well. He holds the ball and brings the defense to him, and really nice job by Cooper to get downfield.
This time that looks like John Carmody on the touchdown run. Touchdown Flyers! John Carmody on a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Flyers strike first, 6-0.
And John's getting a little high five from Trey Taylor because that's one of Trey's plays right there. Yeah. Trey is certainly used to running that jet sweep.
Well, Trey Taylor was obviously, one of, if not the most involved skill position player in the Flyer offense, and that creates a lot of share to go around for all the other players. We touched on it pregame. We're probably not going to see one guy make up all that production. You're going to see it spread around amongst several of the different players, John and Grayson and Van Norman, the running backs. So we've seen all of them touch the ball here early in the first quarter.
One of the nice things I'm seeing right now is you see JT Taylor and Trey Taylor on the sideline. JT got hurt early in the year with a pretty devastating knee injury. Trey, of course, last week. And there they are right next to Cooper DeFata and John. and telling them, you know, what a good job they're doing. I mean, they are senior leaders on this team. You know, even through injury, they're sitting there trying to, you know, keep the players in the game.
Home Federal Bank.
So Lafitte
Home Federal President Jim Barlow
puts it on the tee, and he's going to try to do what he did earlier in the first quarter, which is kick this ball through the back of the end zone.
Actively involved in their school. Home Federal Bank says, "Go Flyers." Lafitte to kick off.
And that is exactly what he did. My goodness, he kicked it straight out of the end zone. So big leg there from Jacob Lafitte.
I think Jacob likes kicking with the wind right there.
The Christian Sports Medicine Program.
Those are the ones you put on your college scout tape right there. You hope that the flag, you know, flying sideways doesn't clue off the scout that it's.
So the Yellow Jackets come out for their second series of the football game. They are going to be trailing when they snap this ball 7-0. 7:06 left here in the first quarter. David Winkler, John Carmody, Art Carmody on the sideline, bringing you all the action, the playoff action from here at Messmer. That time it's Sam Dozat on the carry for the Yellow Jackets. Andrew DeFatta got there for the Flyers, and there'll be no gain on the play.
Yeah, let's just talk about that for a second. Andrew DeFatta is sitting there in that gap. It is a fantastic play on his part to be right where he needed to be and to meet the running back at the line of scrimmage. Andrew has played outstanding this year, and really, you know, he's been asked to play in a 3-4 and a 4-3 defensive front, and he has really done an outstanding job on that right side of the line.
This time the carry is going to go to Melton, and Melton will get, and he won't even get to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to lose a yard there, and that'll make it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, look like they're trying to run blitz with Jude Gayton, and it was a really a nice job. Jude didn't make the tackle in the backfield, but he kind of pushed the receiver to go a little bit deeper into the backfield, and the Flyers were able to make the stop before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, Melton's going to keep this one, and he'll have the best gain of the night for the Yellow Jackets out to their own 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but it's still going to be 4th and 6.
4th down and 6 at the 24.
And, you know, right there, the Flyers really have to be on their toes and stay with their reads. You can see that they're trying to run a little bit of misdirection out of those formations, and so you cannot lose your containment. And just for a second there, he was able to get outside of Van Norman, but Jacob did a nice job of not going with the fake and flowing with the football.
Again, Melton will just go ahead and step back and kick it. Little end-over-ender that's going to take a Yellow Jacket bounce. It'll cross midfield and roll dead just south of the 45-yard line, and that's where the Flyers will take over. So, John, we haven't really seen any of the inventive formations out of the Yellow Jackets so far. What do you attribute that to?
You know, I mean, you're in the playoffs. I'm sure they've seen their own tape, and they've said what works and what doesn't work. We've seen that swing and gate formation. I think that they're looking to see if teams will actually line up correctly against it. And I think they've probably seen how disciplined the Flyers are and know that their best chance is to just kind of run a conventional offense trying to get the ball down the field.
Feet's going to keep that one. Looked like he thought about pitching it for a second, but hard run. Really nice job by Jacob Lafitte keeping his legs moving right there. He'll pick up about, I believe, 12 yards on the carry. And it'll be a first down for the Flyers.
That's a gain of 11 for Lafitte. First down, Flyers.
I like that play design. Like you said, it looked like he even had a pitch man on that play, and Jacob did the nice thing of taking it up the field.
Penalties against the
So
Flyers.
the Flyers,
I want to thank our
false
top
start
sponsor,
is the
Christmas
call right
Preferred
there,
Health
so that'll
System.
back it up 5 and make it first and 15.
Choose your care. When it comes to emergencies, trust the expert teams at Christus Highland.
Yeah, it looks like that was the
Christus
right guard,
Emergency
Jack
Hospital.
Coyle, that kind of got set and then moved a little early.
This time, Trace Wall is going to get a nice carry around the left side up to the Yellow Jacket 35. He'll pick up 14 yards, and that'll set up a second down and 1.
Well, now we know why Jack Coyle may have moved early. They had him pulling on that play, and so he was ready to get out there and get his block.
At the 35.
It'll be second and 2, excuse me. Again, Wall on the carry. Another really nice run there by Trace. He'll get it down to the 21-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. That'll be good enough for a Flyer first down. 14 yards on the carry.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Trace all season long is, he has been hard to bring down with one person. And when he runs inside, he's generally carrying people for 2 or 3 extra yards.
So the Flyer offense
Timeout.
so far, John,
Yellow Jacket.
not really encountering much in the way of resistance out of the Yellow Jacket defense. Seemingly able to open holes and get chunks on the ground pretty much whenever they want to.
Well, and what I really like what Coach Solo is doing is he's really getting a lot of different people involved. And it goes back to what Art was saying at the beginning of the telecast is that, they're going to have to find, with Trey Taylor out, Trey and Jacob have grown up together. And, they've probably thrown more balls in the backyard than probably any sets of kids. And so, Jacob's going to have to find, new people and what they can do and where they're going to be open. And the timing is different because Trey is so quick. And so, this is a good opportunity for these kids who are playing the wide receiver position, especially to get their timing down with Jacob. And so I really like what Coach Solo's done at the beginning of this game.
So after the timeout, the Flyers will have it first and 10 from Yellow Jacket 21. 3:05 left here in the first. 7-0 Flyers. He is going to look to throw this time. He's got a man complete. That's Van Norman at the 10-yard line. He'll fight his way down to the 9. And that'll be good for 12 yards and another Flyer first down.
12 to the 9-yard line.
Really, nice little curl route on the outside by Van Norman. Then once he got it, you could see the strength that he has. He's just pulling kids along for 2 or 3 more yards.
Wall got a great hole that time. Wall crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Flyers! Trace Wall, 10 yards on the touchdown run. And in the first quarter with 2:35 left, Flyers now lead it 13-0.
You said it well, David. The left side of that offensive line for Loyola had a gaping hole that you could see all the way up here. Really nice job by the
Lead up
line.
to hold. Garrett Hawes to snap.
So Lafitte ready to kick the extra point. Something he's been pretty darn good at this year. And that one's going to be blocked, though. So Jacob Lafitte gets one blocked there, John. Not something we have seen very often this year.
Well, that was really nice of you to give him the hex right before that, saying that, he's been pretty good at it. That's generally going to, do it for somebody.
Blame the announcer. It's all right. It's the,
At least
cross we bear.
At least you didn't throw out that he's 34 for 34.
He's never missed. All right, so the missed extra point notwithstanding, John, the Flyers look like they're go on all cylinders so far here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you one thing, that's going to be something that the special teams coaches, and I guarantee you the offensive line coaches are going to be showing on film, assuming the Flyers win this game tonight.
So here we are again for the third time. I hesitate to say anything about Jacob kicking it through the back of the end zone.
But go ahead and say it just like you did right there anyway, you know.
My money's on that he will kick it into the end zone again here. So I've got faith, John. He gets a little air underneath that one. Oh my goodness, it's going to be fielded at the 5. Taken out to the 30. Nice run back to the 33 that time for Chris Melton. And that's where the Yellow Jackets will start now with their best starting field position of the game.
Return is to the
First and 10 there at the 33.
Well, that was 2 hexes in a row, Dave. You promised me a kick out of the back of the end zone. I'm going to leave that one alone for a second and just comment that, again, the coaches are going to have something to show these players. The kickoff coverage team right there leaving a gaping hole that, that's going to have to be cleaned up for future games.
And here we go with some of the interesting stuff. After the line shift, the snap finally went to Eli Patella, and Eli Patella on the best gain of the night for the Yellow Jacket picks up roughly 12 yards, excuse me, and then will set up a first and 10 from their own 44.
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers did the first thing right. A lot of teams have been caught when they change their offensive line formation in right before the play. A lot of teams have jumped off sides, and the Flyers, got close to jumping offside, but they were able to maintain that. But they've got to know their responsibilities when the offense flips like that.
Patel's going to take it again. He's not going to have anywhere to go this time. He's going to lose a couple of yards on that carry. We'll see where the official's going to mark it back at the 41, so it'll be a 3-yard loss. Van Norman there for the Flyers first, and that'll make it 2nd and 13.
Again, Marshall Bryan is doing a great job on that left defensive end position. He's been playing great over the last month and a half at that position, and he just kind of stuffed that up. And so as they kicked it outside, it's right where Van Norman was, and so Van was able to clean that up.
And that'll be Melton again, and Melton will be met at the 42-yard line, so a gain of 1. Melton. And that'll make it 3rd down and 12. Jude Gayton on the tackle for the Flyers.
And that was a really nice job by Jude. He's flowing with the football. A nice job by Reagan Coyle, to turn the runner inside, and a nice job by Andrew DeFata. So, Jude's able to come cleanly and make that tackle.
Flag on the play. Ball be marked down at the 46. It's a gain of 4 if it stands, but let's see what the official has to say about that.
Carries number 5. Correction, number 17. Tackle is made by
Kabiro
Deason
on the carry for the Yellow Jackets. It's like the penalty was against the Flyers. It'll be declined, and it'll make it 4th down and 8. Or
gain of 4.
Interesting that they would decline that
at the 46.
It would to get to 4th down, but really nice job again of Gray Deason and Cooper DeFata coming in making that play. It looked like he had a little seam, and they did a nice job of closing down on that.
The Melton punt is going to take another Yellow Jacket bounce, and this one's a pretty good one. It's going to roll down to the 13-yard line, and that's where the Flyers will take over 1st and 10. And that's the end of the first quarter. Your score here in Mesmer Stadium, Loyola 13, Haynes Academy 0. And we're going to go to a sideline report from Art Carmody.
It's been a fast first quarter as Haynes is intent to run the play clock down and try to limit the Flyers' offensive possessions. The Flyers' offense failed to move the ball. We'll see how deep the Flyers starters play tonight as this one could get ugly in a hurry. Back to you guys.
Some think the best place for cancer treatment is a long way away. We believe in the healing power of home at Christus Cancer Treatment Center.
Thank you all for coming. But this party isn't for me, it's for Tom, for all the rides to chemo. And to Joanne for the casseroles. And Sarah for making this hair kind of work. Thank you.
Treat your cancer where your life is.
How did
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Just caught the tail end of a Jacob Lafitte to Van Norman. Deep ball. 40 yards, John?
I think it was about 35.
35 yards on the reception. Sorry, having a little difficulty here getting back to live play. Jacob Lafitte with some nifty running. Jacob Lafitte's going to score. Jacob Lafitte for 54 yards. Touchdown, Flyers!
Well, I guarantee you that, Trey is proud of Jacob right there, because that looked like Trey Taylor. Jacob went left, went right, went left, went right, and then, saw the opening. And I was going to comment how nice the holes were on the right side of the line, but Jacob just kind of stole the thunder right there with an exceptional run.
Fantastic run that time by Jacob Lafitte. There were several times during that beginning of that run where he could have gone down, and he was able to wind his way through the Yellow Jacket defense and put 6 on the board for the Flyers, make the lead 19-0, trying to make it 20 right here. This time he's going to be kicking straight into that stiff north wind. And the kick is good. So 11:23 left here in the second quarter, and the Flyers now lead it 20-0. So, John, quick strike Flyer offense that time. A long pass from Jacob Lafitte to Van Norman, then an even longer run by Jacob Lafitte himself. And the Flyers now have a commanding early lead, 20-0.
Again, I like that they're, using the deep ball even without Trey Taylor. That's Trey's route. We've seen that so many times, and so they've run it for Van, and Van did a nice job right there making a catch in traffic. So that's going to have to be part of their game plan going forward. They've got to incorporate everything that they try to do with Trey, and again, the timing of those things is going to be a little bit different. And really, it was a nice throw. Jacob actually threw it into the wind. The wind kind of caught it a little bit, but Van was able to make a really nice play.
Now, kicking into this wind, it's highly unlikely Lafitte is going to be able to get these to the ends end. So, in all likelihood, we're going to see another return right here. Looks like the ball is going to be fielded at the 5-yard line by Melton, and Melton's going to return it up to the 18. So fantastic job that time by the Flyers special teams unit to make a tackle just north of the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, they did a nice job. Nicholas Haynes, number 34, came down and beat his man trying to pick up his block and came in like an arrow at the returner and slowed him up. And then the rest of the Flyers were able to clean it up after that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Haynes from their own 18. They trail it 20-0. We're very excited tonight to be joined by our Jets cheerleaders. Jets cheerleaders attend several different schools around the area, I believe, John. Although I believe the majority of them come from First Baptist, if I understand correctly. I know we've had some St. Joseph's and some other schools participate in the Jets cheerleading, although I'm not sure who all is down there tonight. But we thank them for being here for sure.
Again, they're trying to get off tackle right there, and you know, Andrew DeFatta is not going anywhere. He and Kenyatta Davis both on the right side of that defensive front have basically stalwarts on that right side, and there's no push at all from the offensive line. Really doing a nice job.
Fantastic job that time. That was Cooper DeFatta who came flying in to make the tackle in the backfield. Melton is going to lose about 4 yards on that one. Great job by DeFatta that time.
It really was. I mean, he read that beautifully, and he made the play quickly. The other thing that I really liked was Marshall Bryan was staying right where he needed to be, and he was in position to help him out. So, I mean, really nice job of the Flyers staying disciplined on defense.
So 3rd and 14, Jackets need the 28 for a first. There we go again with that line shift. And a lot of good that one's going to do them. It's going to be another loss, or let's say they said, it looks like they said he made it back to the line of scrimmage, so that'll make it 4th and 14, and I imagine we'll see another Yellow Jacket punt right here.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about what Marshall Bryan and Kenyatta Davis and Andrew DeFatta, they have done a stellar job in the last month of this season on that defensive front, and they are not getting pushed around at all. That right there, they were trying to run right up the gut. I think they've got Gray Deason in there, the defensive tackle as well. And so, I mean, they are not getting pushed around at all.
Ooh, and the Flyers almost got there that time, John. And then he just narrowly avoided a collision with the kicker that could have ended up with a penalty against the Flyers. But as it all is, the ball's going to roll all the way down to the 25-yard line, which makes it a 60-yard punt. Wind aided, of course, but a nice punt if you're a Jacket fan. One that could have ended up very differently, about a couple of inches different.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive to get a 60-yard punt under the duress that he had to kick with. I'm very impressed.
8:46 left here in the second quarter. Flyers lead it 20-0.
1st and 10 Flyers.
They're going to look to add more right here. And from what we've seen so far tonight of the Flyer offense, you say that it's pretty likely we'll see some more points right here. Flyer offense doing a great job so far. This time, Trace Wall, big run, Trace Wall. He's got a couple of guys to beat, but it looks like he's going to do it. Trace Wall, touchdown, Flyers, 75 yards for the Flyer touchdown, and Trace Wall puts one on the board. The Flyers now lead it 26-0.
Yeah, really another great job by the offensive line. Great play call by Coach Sella. But once Trace kind of broke through the second line of the defense, I mean, he turned it on, and for that last 55 yards, he saw pay dirt. He was not going to be stopped.
No, he was definitely getting more separation as he ran. That's what you want to see. Feet for the extra point. And the kick is good. So 8:32 left here in the second quarter. Flyers now lead it 27-0.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that run right there, because we have seen Trace have some really bruising runs, and he does a great job with it, and he doesn't complain a bit. but it's nice to actually see his speed. See him in the open field, and he's got some wheels on him. He just has all that inside running, and it's just nice to actually get a chance to see him actually kick it up a notch.
So, John, this couldn't have gone any better for Coach Green and the Flyers. The defense looks fantastic. The offense is moving the ball up and down the field, and they're cruising out right now to what looks like a big win. Lafitte into the wind, gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. It'll be fielded right there by Melton, and Melton will return it up to the 23. And that's where the Yellow Jackets will start, 1st and 10.
But, going back to what you said about Mike Green, he is going to analyze this. Even though they're up 27-0, he's going to be analyzing this tape, and he's going to be looking for the things that were not done appropriately, which is what he should do. And you, me, anybody else that would be coaching would be doing the same thing. And that's what they need. It's not going to be a perfect game, but you've got to get to the point of as close to perfection as you can be. And so, this game is all about being crisp.
Milton's going to keep that one, look to throw, and that pass is caught complete up to the 39-yard line. That's Sam Duzat on the reception that time. So, nice play that time for the Jackets. Probably the best play of the night, yardage-wise. That'll set up a 1st down.
Yeah, it's interesting about that player because they send a receiver deep, and then they're running one of the inside backs into the flats, and so it looks like their typical run, so they're seeing what the strong safety is going to do. They're able to kind of dump that ball over the strong safety.
Oh, bad snap. Melton's going to do good just to get on that, and he does. He'll be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage, and there is a flag on the play, however. So let's see if the Flyers got through a little early that time. He caught an illegal shift against Haynes Academy, so the play's going to stand. I imagine they'll decline that with the loss. Play is declined, so after the ball, the fumbled ball will be marked down at the 27-yard line, so it's going to be a loss of 12, make it 2nd and 22.
What I like right here, Coach McDonald is doing his usual sub pattern, that even without Trey, he is still subbing people. He's giving Jacob a rest right now. Colin Learett is in for at corner, so these guys need the game action.
Ooh. Melton takes a big hit right there. It looked like he just kind of couldn't tell if he was giving himself up or if he just kind of lost his footing there, John. It almost looked like he was giving himself up. Kind of a weird play.
Yeah, that is a play you've got to be very careful about giving yourself up for, because the whole defense is flowing with you. I'm glad that he is not injured.
Yeah, and to your point about substitution, John, I mean, look, we're in the playoffs right now. This is a 27-0 game in the second quarter. It doesn't look like, it's going to get much closer than this. And Coach Green and the staff, I mean, they have to be thinking about keeping these guys fresh and, frankly, keeping them healthy. No sense risking anybody at this time of year in a game that's already pretty much decided.
Yeah, and it was usual for them to try to spell Trey a little bit at corner, and it was usual for them to try to spell Jacob at times at safety, and so this is what you're seeing. And Colin Learett has a lot of experience. Colin's played a lot, and Colin will come up and hit you, so it's good that they've got him there and he's ready to play.
So Milton set to punt again. He's been busy punting the ball, and the Flyers nearly get there again. That's two punts in a row where the Flyers have darn near blocked that punt, John. But as it is, he gets it off, and it'll be marked out at the Yellow Jacket 36-yard line. So the Flyers in great field position to add even more points here late in the second quarter.
You know, but Coach Green at this point in the game is going to sit there and he's going to emphasize continue to be crisp and continue to do what you need to do. And he doesn't care about the opponent. He doesn't care about you doing the right thing.
Cheerleaders with us tonight. Trace Wall, the ball carrier.
Trace Wall on the carry that time for the Flyers. Get it down to the 33-yard line, make it 2nd and 6. And Lafitte, like we've seen him do so many times this year, is able to get the Jackets to jump. Flyers will pick up a quick 5 yards on that, and it'll make it 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, Jacob's hard count is really impressive, and the fact that the line never seems to jump, you got to give the offensive lineman a lot of credit.
Absolutely. Very, very disciplined.
Go Flyers.
Pass complete that time to Hutchins, and Hutchins get it to the 24-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. Gain of 3. 5:08 left in the first half. Flyers lead it 27-0.
I like the play. They initially got their blocks and there was a lane, but the play took a little too long, and by the time Grayson actually caught the ball and turned upfield, that lane had closed down.
Wall on the carry. He's got blockers out in front of him. He's able to get the corner. Wall be knocked out of bounds down at the 3-yard line. Great carry that time by Wall. He'll pick up 21 yards. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line with 4:42 left here in the first half.
Really a nice job of the pulling guards to get out in front right there. And I'll especially point out Jack Ebarb. He was out there. He not only made the first block, but went downfield and was leading Trace down even further downfield.
Feet's going to throw, and that pass is complete. Touchdown, Flyers! John Carmody with his 2nd touchdown of the night puts the Flyers up 33-0 with the extra point pending.
And again, that's that play. That's a Trey Taylor play right there. It's just the 2-yard quick slant, and there's Trey to meet John at the sideline saying, that's the way I like to do it, and glad you paid attention to me.
And Lafitte's kick is good.
It's good.
With that, the Flyers now lead it 34-0, and they're well on their way to a first-round victory here, John, at Messmer Stadium.
As a 3 seed playing a 14 seed, you are expected to be a big favorite, but you got to come out here and play like you're a big favorite too. And what I really like so far is that there really does seem to be a cleanness and a crispness to what the Flyers are doing, especially knowing that this is the first week that you've been without Trey Taylor. And Trey Taylor has been a mainstay for the Flyers offense for 3 years. Even in his freshman year, they were able to incorporate him into the offense.
So far, so good on all fronts. Feet. Wow, puts that 3 yards deep into the end zone, into the wind. That's a pretty impressive kick right there, John.
It is. If the camera could catch the wind, blowing the flag. Now, I hope that people watching the telecast can really appreciate what Jacob has got to kick into. We have seen some really stiff. This is probably the 3rd game, David, where we've we've seen the wind really be a factor in the game. But it has been really impressive to watch Jacob kick really in both directions, with the wind and against the wind. Really, like you said, for him to muscle that all the way to the end zone is pretty impressive.
Doctors Edward Anglin, George Byram, Carlton House, Timothy Talbert, and Craig Springmeyer of the Highland Center for Orthopedics provide all the sports medicine care for Loyola.
So here we come with the swinging gate for the first time tonight. You can see all the Yellow Jacket linemen at the top of your screen, the receivers down at the bottom. He's going to throw behind the line over there, incomplete. Does Melton. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
Wow. I tell you one thing. Kenyatta Davis just blew that play all the way up. They're going to have to put more men on Kenyatta if they're going to run that swinging gate, because he just blew through that offensive line. What a great play.
And here we go again. So it looks like they're going to try this out on this possession for sure. We told you you'd see some interesting things tonight. And nearly another disastrous play for the Yellow Jackets there. That'll make it 3rd and 10. Van Norman got his hand on it for the Flyers.
I like that Haynes Academy has come into this formation, because, again, this is what Coach Green's going to want to see. Are you paying attention to what the offense is doing, and are you lined up correctly, and are you making the right reads once the play is snapped?
So far, the Yellow Jackets have been able to muster 4 yards in the first half, John. The Flyer defense has simply been fantastic.
Well, I mean, they've done what they needed to do, and right there, they've substituted Colin Huckabee for Andrew DeFatta in this formation, and it's going to be interesting what Colin Huckabee does, because Colin, he is pretty quick, and he is willing to hit anything, so it'll be interesting to see how this formation plays out now that they've brought him in. He is kind of perfect for this alignment.
Milton back to punt again. The Flyers have nearly gotten there the last 2 times they've set up the punt. Melton got that one off quick, and he's going to pick up a first down because of it. The Flyers were hunting for that one and got a little over aggressive and ran into the kicker.
Yeah, but he kind of got blocked into him. That one's a tough one, you know, and they're going to call it a personal foul. Looks like he's calling personal foul.
Personal foul.
And
the punter against the Flyers, you know,
but again, I don't know what they're going to look to accomplish by trying to go in and block that at this point. They're going to give them a first down.
You could see that Melton was well aware, because he got that kickoff much quicker than he got the last couple of kicks off.
I think Mike Green's probably going to tell them, let's lay off that and let him kick him.
So after the penalties, the Jackets now have it first down at their own 35. Melton looks to throw. Pass is complete. Out to the left. The receiver that time is Preston Brown.
To Wyatt Clagley.
Excuse me, that's Wyatt Clagley. Excuse me. And he'll get it out just across midfield to the 46-yard line, or 47. It'll be an 18-yard gain and a first down.
Haynes Academy.
So they moved out of the swinging gate and gone to the more conventional lineups.
Melton looks to throw, and he's going to be thrown down that time. Great job by Andrew DeFatta, who got there quickly for the Flyer defense and brought Melton down deep in the Yellow Jacket backfield. It'll be a loss of, looks like, 13 yards, 12 yards, make it 2nd and 22.
You hit it perfectly, David. That was a very quick play, because Andrew is a quick kid. For somebody who's having to play defensive end and hold that area, you know, he can still get upfield.
Melton under pressure again. This time he's going to just tuck it and run. He's got some room. Melton across the 40 down to the 36-yard line of the Flyers. So Melton looks like he picked up the first down. So 23-yard carry by Melton on what looked to be a play where he could have been brought down in the backfield again.
Again, this is your conventional, spread offense now, and the Flyers are letting holes happen to them. They played well against the kind of gimmicky stuff, but you've got to line up and play.
This time Melton's going to roll to his left, and he's going to just go ahead and keep that, and he'll finally be forced out of bounds that time by Gayton. There is a flag on the play.
Really nice
It's
job.
going to be a hold against the Yellow Jackets, so that's going to come back.
That was a nice job by Andrew DeFatta. Again, he got off his block and chased him down the line. And another good example of the speed that Andrew actually has. And it was a nice read, and he actually kept him parallel and allowed Jude to come up and clean up and make the tackle.
So after the penalty, the ball will be marked back at the Yellow Jacket 49-yard line. So that's an 11-yard penalty. Nope, excuse me. They're going to move it to the Flyer 47-yard line now. 1st and 21. 1 minute, 18 seconds left. Clock's running. Yellow Jackets just trying to put anything on the board right here before halftime. Just try to get whatever little bit of momentum they could possibly salvage out of the first half.
Yeah, that's a little too easy a pass right there. They're just kind of throwing a quick little out.
So 8 yards on the pitch and catch right there for the Jackets will make it 2nd down and 13.
I think we got a flag of some sort. I don't know, maybe just a discussion.
Fantastic job that time again
Milton, tackle for a loss
by Andrew DeFatta, who is seemingly living in the Yellow Jacket backfield here in the first half, John.
Yeah, Andrew's played a heck of a half, and they come over to the other side, and Marshall's been a stalwart on the left side of the defense too. So, and certainly don't want to try to run up the middle against Kenyatta the way he's been playing.
3rd and 15, 37 seconds left here in the first half. Clock continues to run. And that pass is incomplete.
Pass incomplete, intended for Clakeley.
They went in Clakeley that time, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. 27 seconds left in the first half. The Jackets do have 1 timeout left, according to the scoreboard. So you figure if they get a first down here, the clock will stop briefly. They can get a playoff. They'd still have time to stop it at least once. Dalton's going to just give it all he has, and that pass is going to be picked off at the 19-yard line. Let's see who that is, John. That's John Carmody again. So John Carmody having a fantastic game so far here in the first half. 2 touchdowns, an interception. You taught him everything he knows, didn't you?
Not hardly.
Fantastic play by John that time. 18 seconds left here in the first half. We've seen the Flyers score in less time here in the second quarter, so it'll be interesting to see if Coach Green decides to try to put one more up here, or if he just content to take it. Yeah. Colby Hamilton is going to see his first action in this game. So I don't imagine he's going to have Colby take a knee. Colby's going to hand off. And I believe
John Ebarb.
that was John Ebarb on the carry. So here we go with the young Flyers, if you will, getting their first game action in a
And I'll tell you one
34-0
thing,
game.
If that doesn't tell you something about the quality of Mike Green right there, I mean, there are a lot of schools that might take the opportunity to, try to get more. But, that is the class of Mike Green right there.
All right, so your score here at halftime, Loyola 34, Haynes Academy nothing. We've got some great halftime stuff for you. We've got a great produced segment that the Loyola Media Arts Department did, and we're going to look at that right now, and we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
Some think the best place for cancer treatment is a long way away. We believe in the healing power of home at Christus Cancer Treatment Center.
Thank you all for coming. But this party isn't for me, it's for Tom, for all the rides to chemo. And to Joanne for the casseroles. And Sarah for making this hair kind of work. Thank you.
Treat your cancer where your life is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Meg's here? No, she's Dallas.
With the boring girls.
Okay. With the what?
Boring girls.
Boring girls?
Been out of town every weekend except with the exception of like fall break, maybe one. But I mean, pretty much, Charlotte and I are both do that travel. You think they're supposed to do this, so they're going to be in the same place the same weekend. No coordination at all, right? We'll do. I'll do that week. Not very coordinated. Alright. Is this school got a battery? Yeah, they're not very good. Man, they were cool. I don't know. Alright, so I got Foley Timmy. Awesome. Alright, so what are you gonna throw to Timmy? I gotta give us your best Mike Green. I know you're gonna do Mike Green story that of course one that can be shared with the general public. I don't know what that's gonna be. Probably be about a 3-minute,
Great first half performance, offensively and defensively, but what did you not like about the first half?
Well, it's aggravating. We've got to keep getting better each week, which we've done. But looking on film, we're starting to stand up. It's almost like we reverted back, and you can't. I don't care who you're playing. You've got to fundamentally, you got to keep playing. But we'll come second half fundamentally. We'll get it.
And then you got some young guys here on that last play before the halftime. What do you want to see out of them in the second half?
Well, you know what, and we will. We're not out here to score 100 points. We want to come back, get better. We need to get some of these guys some playoff experience, the younger guys. Just go out, play hard. All we want them to do is play hard.
And some fans have been asking, the jacket you're wearing tonight, is this a lucky jacket? How old is this jacket?
Well, I think it's maybe 71. It's a throwback. It's old. There's no telling. Johnny Unitas might have worn it. I don't know. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out. I got family in New York watching my grandbaby. So, hey, boom, boom. All right.
Back to you guys.
Oh, no. I think we're just talking.
We can just do it with voice. We don't need to put them on camera.
Okay. All right, welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. It's halftime. 8 minutes left. Flyers commanding lead here, 34-0. We are excited and thrilled to be joined by a special guest tonight. John and I welcome Jimmy Campbell here to the booth. Jimmy is a 1997 graduate of Loyola. He played on the football team that made it to the state championship game at the Superdome that year, I believe. Yep. He also played for, obviously, if he was on that team, he played for Coach Green in his tenure here, his first tenure here as a football coach. So, Jimmy, glad to have you. Thank you for coming up here to join us. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jimmy, give us a little story. Give us a little background on Coach Green. What do you? If Green's in this locker room right now, he's talking to these players. What would be something we would expect to hear? The PG version, obviously, from Coach Green.
Well, there's usually not a. Well, there used to not be a PG version. Maybe there is now, but he's probably saying, hey, look, you got to be mean. You got to be meaner than the other guy. It's that simple. And it's 0-0 when you go back out there. Something like that, I would think. But, people evolve. Maybe things are different now. I don't know.
Well, honestly, I think that is a wonderful Mike Green you did there. That's fantastic, John.
That was perfect. It was dead on. One of the things about Jimmy when he was a player, he had Green down perfect. He had his hand movements down. He could voice him well. It was always fun watching.
I did a lot of rehearsing with my good friend Brandon Politz, so we kind of, rehearse those things before practice. But at any rate.
All right, Jimmy. So let's get on to give me a little bit about this game. So what have you seen in the first half, and what you're feeling? What you seen of the Flyers?
Tell you, this is only the second game I've been to this year. I'm really impressed. The Flyers got a great offense, very balanced, a lot of movement before the snap. They got some real strong players on the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense, and on defense they really pursue really well. I mean, they're getting in the backfield, they're getting after them. So it's been fun to watch so far.
Well, when we went to the state championship game, the playoffs started and Mike Green believed and we all believed and got the players to really believe that they were capable of making it all the way to the state championship game.
Yeah.
And so, of course, these kids have to learn that. They have to really, I'm sure that Mike's going to try to instill in them that they are good enough to make that deep run.
Right.
And so, I want to go back and ask you, what are your memories of that run to the Dome?
Well, boy, it was a hell of a run. It was a lot of fun. A couple of things really stick out. One, the Riverside game, the semifinal game down in Reserve. That was a game that, I think they had gone to the state championship the year prior, or maybe the semis, and we weren't supposed to win that one. And it was a really big atmosphere, standing room only all around the field, and we hung in there and had some big plays by some really good players and got the win. It was awesome.
And of course, we didn't end up with a state championship. We kind of ran into that buzzsaw called Haynesville.
Yeah, but playing in the Dome, I mean, that's something I still tell people about. Watch a game on TV, Saints game, maybe like friends of mine from the Army or whatever would say, hey, I played there. And then the inherent question is, well, tell me about it. And I'm like, well, we lost 51-3, but still a great experience. The only other thing I remember about that playoff run was playing Oak Grove. That's probably the toughest team I've ever played. And they were just a tough bunch. And it was like, I think we won by 3 points or a touchdown. It was like 14-10 or something like that. I don't remember, but that was. I remember Saturday morning I got out of bed and I was hurting. They're a tough bunch.
And that's really, you're right about it, and it really showed what a tough bunch y'all were as well, because those kids really could hit, and y'all hit right back, and it was just like you said, it was a rocket sock'em type of game, and really one of the best games that I've been associated with.
Yeah, it was good. It was a big, strong, tough group. And one big play from Chris Lentini and kind of hang in there the rest of the game and move on to the next round. So.
Those are great memories, and it's the kind of memories that I hope that these kids can make for themselves. The playoff runs and believing in yourselves and the camaraderie is something that, like you said, it just kind of transcends your time. And so I appreciate you coming up here and giving us your perspective on that. What an honor it is to have you up here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you coming up and visiting with us. Absolutely. You want to say something? We've got the next generation of Campbell right here. Say something to the Flyer audience. We've got a shy one. We've got a shy one.
Thank y'all.
All right. See ya. All right, we'll be right back. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
Some think the best place for cancer treatment is a long way away. We believe in the healing power of home at Christus Cancer Treatment Center.
Thank you all for coming. But this party isn't for me, it's for Tom, for all the rides to chemo. And to Joanne for the casseroles. And Sarah for making this hair kind of work. Thank you.
Treat your cancer where your life is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport-Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
All right, welcome back. They put a couple of extra minutes on the clock, gives us a chance to kind of rehash the first half a little bit. John, the Flyers really got off to a fast start, went up 7-0, and just really haven't looked back. Offense has been able to throw the ball, run the ball, pretty much do whatever they want. Defense, besides maybe that last little series there at the end of the first half, has been lights out. They've lived in the Yellow Jackets backfield all night, and now we're already into some of the deeper substitutions we expect to see tonight by the Flyers, and almost certainly we're going to see it the rest of the second half.
Well, you made a good point earlier that you certainly don't want it to risk anybody getting injured, and they need everybody for this playoff run. And so, I'm glad to see some of these backups getting in here, but it also is, quality time for these backups. I mean, there's a lot of time left in this game, and so these backups can show that they're ready for the moment. I mean, you're in the playoffs. I don't care, what the team is, you're in the playoffs, and so everything matters. And so hopefully these kids that are getting an opportunity to play, and I'm sure in the second half they might mix it up with some of the starters versus with some of the second string to see who's ready to take on the limelight as the playoffs continue for the Flyers.
Yeah, and I promise you, the coaching staff look. I mean, of course, they're not so much thinking about the future as in next year, but they're definitely thinking about the future of the playoff run. And we've already seen what happens when a player gets hurt and goes down like Trey. I mean, you've got to have other guys that are ready to step in and play bigger roles than what maybe they played before. And even the starters like John Carmody, perfect example. I mean, he's been more involved tonight in the offense than he's really been involved all year. 2 touchdowns. And, that's a new role for him. That's a bigger role for him. I talked about, Trey Taylor has a target share as a wide receiver. I don't know exactly what it is, but I bet you it's somewhere around 40%, and somebody's got to soak up all that target share. And right now it looks like John's going to get a lot of that, or at least he has in this game. And so they've got to also find guys behind them. I mean, God forbid something happens to somebody else, they still need someone to be able to step in, and you got to know who those guys are going to be.
But you just brought up a great point about that person who's kind of having to step in for Trey, because those routes that Trey typically runs are the same routes that Jacob is used to throwing, and he's used to throwing to particular points on the football field with the expectation that Trey's going to actually get there. Well, if it's John, if it's Van, if it's Grayson, or whoever else they bring out there as a wide receiver, the timing is going to be different with that individual than it is with Trey. And so, this is exactly what they need to do. Trace Wall's been running the ball fantastic, but they're going to have to continue to kind of make sure that they know what the timing is on these pass patterns as the playoffs continue.
So both teams are back out on the field now, just getting a little stretched out. It's gotten pretty cool here, John. Let me check out what the handy-dandy temperature is right now. Looks like it is 55 degrees. It says we've got about a 10-mile-an-hour wind out of the north. Seems like it's probably a little bit stronger than that, really. In the next hour or so, as this game continues to wind down, looks like the temperature is going to drop nearly into the 40s. So I know these Metairie guys aren't used to playing in cool temperatures like this. This has got to feel like the Arctic to those guys.
Yeah, like going up to Green Bay in Shreveport.
Hey, what are you talking about? It was 0 degrees here not even a year ago.
It is interesting. We have called some interesting weather games in our time together. It seems like we've had the monsoon games, and we've had really very cold games, and we've had some extremely hot games. It is nice to be out here on a 55-degree night.
Look, I can take just about anything, but those games where it is cold and raining up here, folks, John and I are not afforded the luxury of a nice, enclosed booth up here to do our broadcasting from. We are very much out in the elements, old school, and when it starts to rain, there's nowhere to hide. All right, clock winds down to 0. We're about to get the second half started. I believe with the score, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I guess we'll find out pretty quick. But I believe the game may be played under a running clock the rest of the way. I don't know what the threshold score is, but we got to be pretty close to it.
Well, and it has to be something that coaches agree upon, I believe. And I guarantee you, knowing Mike Green, and he'd be happy to do that for any opposing coach. It just all depends on what they agree upon as well. But we get to see something right here, David, that we is another change that we have to see. What are the Flyers going to do in a kickoff return situation? And here's our first example of what they've done. They're bringing Jacob Lafitte out to play Trey Taylor's position in the kickoff return game.
Haynes Academy will defend.
Yeah, this will be the first time we've seen the Flyer kick return unit on the field tonight. Flyer defense has done their job in that equation, limiting the Yellow Jackets to 0 points.
Lance Truce.
Be interesting to see if the Yellow Jackets may go for an onside kick here. And why wouldn't they really, right?
Yeah, looks like the Flyers are expecting that.
Truce is going to go ahead and kick it deep, and Lafitte's going to field it at the 25. Lafitte looking for a seam, and he's able to pop it outside, and he'll get it up to the – wow, he did a fantastic tight roping job. Looked like he was going to get knocked out of bounds at about midfield, but he was able to milk a full 10 yards from there out of it and get it all the way to the Yellow Jacket 40.
And you see who went to go meet him on the sideline there? There is Trey Taylor and Jacob, and Trey are celebrating together. I mean, because Jacob really, it was a nice move. And then he actually cut it left and really kind of turned on the juice to get up the sideline. Really nice job. Now, of course, he's not playing quarterback, so I think he really wanted that run back.
So Hamilton stays out there for the Flyers, and he's going to hand off to Ebarb. And Ebarb, with a nice 10-yard run, will take it down to the 30, and that'll be good enough for a Flyer first down. So right out of the gate, it looks like we've got the young Flyers in here to start the second half.
And, if Haynes Academy thought that Trace Wall ran tough, they're about to meet John Ebarb.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be offsides against Haynes Academy. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty and make it 1st and 5.
Yeah, it looked like the left defensive end jumped into the neutral zone.
Hamilton's got the play now. He's going to hand off to Ebarb again. Ebarb with another nice hole. Ebarb just trucks the Yellow Jacket defender and carries it across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll be good enough for another first down. Fantastic run that time by Ebarb, John.
And how many times we saw Reese Ebarb with that same type
looked
of run.
awfully familiar, didn't it?
Awful familiar.
First down at the 19. Again, Ebarb on the carry. Ebarb breaks a couple of tackles, and he'll finally go down inside the 5 at the, looks like they're going to mark him down at the 4-yard line. That'll be good enough for another Flyer first down, 10 yards on the carry. That'll make it first and goal from the 4.
And they pulled Jack Ebarb right there, so Jack Ebarb is leading John Ebarb around the corner.
Well, John, will this be an Ebarb all the way down the field scenario? We're about to find out. He's going to get this carry, and he's going to cross the goal line. Touchdown, Flyers! Great job that time by John Ebarb, who picked up the entirety of the yardage on that drive. 4 yards on the touchdown run, 40 yards on the drive for John Ebarb, and the Flyers now lead it 40-0.
Really nice blocking about the offensive line, and a lot of those guys are second-team offensive line players, so that's what you want to see. Really some fantastic running by John Ebarb. He has been fun to watch this year.
Lafitte out to get the extra point, and he will. 7:24 left here in the second half. The Flyers lead it 41-0. And if you notice, John, the clock is running, so I believe we are playing under a running clock.
But you're starting the second half out like this. I cannot comment enough on. This is the quality of a coach that Mike Green is, and this is, again, quality work that these kids are getting. And I'm so glad to see him take this opportunity to get these kids this kind of playing time.
Lafitte to kick off.
Lafitte ready to kick off. Again, he'll be kicking into the wind. Last time he put this 3 yards deep into the wind in this direction. This time he's going to opt for a little line drive kick that is again going to make it into the end zone for a touchback. Clock continues to move. About 6 minutes left here in the third quarter.
So, interesting. Looks like they're maybe bringing in some second-team defensive players as well. And I guarantee you that Mike Green is saying, finish this game out right. He's got the whole team around him.
Yeah, he does. I imagine that conversation's going something along the lines of, just because we're up 41-0 doesn't mean I don't expect you to do your job. Just because we're subbing doesn't mean I don't expect you to do things the right way. So the Flyer defense will come out onto the field, and there will be several new players out there.
It is. It's not entirely mass substitution, but it is. They've got, I only see 3 starters that are still out there. And it looks like all the seniors have taken a break.
And Melton's going to pass incomplete. He wanted Lance Troost. He gets 2nd and 10.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
But you know, this is the time you find out if the second team has been paying attention during practice. You know, they have all those interesting formations that they might come out with.
Well, you know, and they've really, though, I mean, the best success they've had tonight was that little stretch there in the end of the second quarter when they just kind of came out and just kind of threw the ball. Pass is incomplete. He wanted Troost again, so that'll make it 3rd and 10.
Incomplete, 3rd and 10.
Milton's really, I mean, he's been the whole team, more or less. Chris Milton, he's a junior, so the Yellow Jackets will be glad to have him back for their team next year.
And a nice job on the defensive end front. Robert Pavlik's now at the defensive end. He had to take on 2 blockers right there and still kind of force the throw early.
Milton's pass is again incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Like the intended receiver that time, Claypool. And it looks like he should have probably come down with that one, John, but he did not, and that'll make it 4th and 10.
Yeah, it looks like Haynes Academy is going to just stay in that same spread offense at this point. They got 4th and 10. Like you said, what do they have to lose at this point?
So Milton's just going to step back and what he's done before, and he's going to go ahead and kick it. It's a high, short kick. It's going to take a bit of a Yellow Jacket bounce and Milton down at about the 45-yard line, and the Flyers will have it there, 1st and 10.
Well, it's good to see that the second team defense, you know, did their jobs. They, you know, there wasn't a lot to see right there, but I don't imagine that the coaches are upset with anything on that defensive series.
No. Hamilton drops that one. He's able to pick it back up, though. Hamilton looks to run with it, and he's going to end up losing about 4 yards that time, make it 2nd and 14. But the most important thing there is that he was able to get back on the ball.
Yeah, and just like we talked about earlier, the Haynes Academy player, that's one of those tough things. When you stop, you're going in the flow one way, and you stop one way because the defense is coming at you, and you know, you're likely to get a pretty good shot in that situation.
Ebarb on the carry that time. He'll get that lost yardage back, +1. It'll be a 5-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 9. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. If you missed it earlier, we are under a running clock the rest of the way. Flyers lead it 41-0. Hamilton under pressure is going to go down.
Hamilton is sacked on the play.
It'll be a loss of 6 yards. And that'll make it 4th and long, and I imagine we're going to see Jacob Lafitte come out and punt this one.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first punt of the night. Gosh, it seems like it's been forever since we've seen Jacob punt in any game.
Well, probably not. You know, you don't want to see a 4th and long if you're a Flyer fan, but at the same time, if you're Coach Green, you know, the silver lining is we probably do need to work on our punt unit a little bit, because moving forward in the playoffs, special teams are going to become more and more important.
Yeah, but this is a second team line. Oh, gosh. That's blocking for your starting quarterback.
What a fantastic punt by Jacob that time. Down inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Jacob does a little dance. He was kind of proud of himself on that one. But, John, that was a heck of a punt into the wind and with tremendous hang time to boot.
Well, let's just talk about the fact he just made a one-handed grab as the ball was trying to sail above him, then came down, and he had people rushing him. And again, I was a little bit worried having a kind of a second-team offensive line to block for you there, but Jacob did a nice job of corralling it and getting rid of it.
Of the third quarter.
All right, so that's the end of the third quarter. Your score here from Esper Stadium: Loyola 41, Haynes Academy nothing. We've got a little report here from Art Carmody on the sideline. Take it away, Art.
Running clock here in the second half. A lot of the young guys are getting some experience. It's great for them to get some game reps as the Flyers will move on to the second round of the playoffs. But Monday, basketball season starts, boys and girls. We'll be tipping it off Monday evening at the Flyer gym. So go out and support the Flyer basketball program as they tip off the season. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Art. So both teams will change ends here, and Haynes Academy will now move towards the north end zone for the final quarter. Just looking to put some points on the board, John, if you're Haynes Academy. You made the long drive up here from Metairie. Going to make the long drive back here in about 30 minutes. You'd like to end the night with just a little something. But the Flyer defense has other thoughts. And that'll be no gain on the play that time for Melton. Make it 2nd and 10.
Pavlik and Haynes.
Pavlik on the tackle for the Flyers.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Nick Haynes and Robert Pavlik to kind of close down that hole. They've been asked to
They gave him a yard on the play, so make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like
here we go with the line
they're
shift.
expecting the line shift as well.
And this time it's going to be Patella on the carry, and Patella is going to pick up about 8 yards, and it'll be awfully close to a Yellow Jacket first down. We'll see what the official says here. They're going to say he's just a little bit short, so it'll make it 3rd down and 1.
Patella on the carry, Gosley on the stop.
That was a nice job by Patrick Gosley from that linebacker position. He flowed very well getting to that football.
Flyer defense does a great job that time. Again, it's close to a first down. They're going to say Dozat got there. Horton and Pavlik made the tackle, but not until he just got across the line of scrimmage there and picked up a first down.
It was a nice job by Robert Pavlik. He broke through into the actually offensive backfield and held up the runner.
Again, Dozat on the carry, and Dozat coughed it up when he went down, but the official said he was down.
And that is the second time we have watched Patrick Gosley go sideline to sideline. That is a really nice pursuit and a really nice tackle.
At the 24. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
No carry on that. No gain on that carry for Dozat. Huckabee and Horton on the stop for the Flyers. And that'll make it 3rd and 9.
That was a nice job by Alex Horton playing the right defensive end position to shed his tackle and meet the running back in the hole.
This time the carry goes to Mason Williams.
Mason Williams carries.
Will pick up about
Gosley on the stop.
8 yards before Gosley brings him down this time. And that'll make it 4th and short, maybe 4th and 1. Gosley, a very busy man here on this drive.
Yeah,
4th and 1.
Patrick Gosley may challenge Cooper DeFatta or Andrew DeFatta for most tackles tonight. It seems to be everywhere.
So 4th and 1. Melton keeps that one. He'll pick up the first down, be forced out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Tackle made by Birch is a first down at the full 38. Gain of 5.
7 minutes left here in the football game. Flyers with a commanding 41-0 lead. Lance Troost on the carry that time for the Yellow Jackets. He'll pick up 4 yards, make it 2nd down and 6. Doyle on the tackle for the Flyers.
Yeah, Alex Horton did a nice job of staying on the outside, keeping his outside shoulder free and forcing the running back inside.
Troost again on the carry, and he's going to go nowhere. If anything, he's going to lose about 4 yards on the carry, maybe call it 3.
It really was Alex Horton again. He shed off the defensive tackle, and then he had another running back that had to come off, and really a nice play by Alex Horton.
So 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9.
Yellow Jackets need the 48 for a first down. Melton keeps that one. That pass is complete. Cross midfield down to the 46-yard line.
Pass is complete to Peyton.
Peyton Drum was the receiver that time.
Makes the stop.
Lorette on the tackle for the Flyers, but not before a big first down for the Yellow Jackets.
15 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that plays the way it's supposed to be run right there, where you've got a lot of misdirection, and then you've got the quarterback with the option to keep it or look for the out, and really a nice job by the quarterback and receiver.
Tough running that time by the Yellow Jackets. Pick up about 6 yards on that carry.
Williams carries.
Will Williams.
Bo Bowman.
Bo Bowman and Gosley on the stop that time. Make it 2nd and 4.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure Patrick Gosley's going to like anybody taking his tackles at this point. Yeah, he's trying to get everyone he can, but Bo Bowman did a nice job of it.
That'll be Melton again on the carry. Pick up 2 yards. Make it 3rd and 2.
That play right there is going to be one that probably gets singled out in the
Melton
film
carries.
because
That's
there
Haynes
were
and Gosley on the
8 or
stop.
9 Flyers at the end of that
Gain of
play
2.
right there, and
3rd and
that's
2.
what they're going to want to see. That's what your defense coordinator is going to want to see. That's what your head coach is going to want to see.
3rd and 2. Antonio Castro is going to carry that one. He's going to lose about a yard. That'll make it 4th and call it 3. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left here in the football game.
You know, that's what, right there. We get to see Colin Huckabee be Colin Huckabee. I mean, that kid can close a lot of space quickly, and he is going to come and hit you. I thought that was a well-designed play. He had some blockers out in front of him, but Huckabee just split both of the blockers and made a great play.
Felton's pass is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Ball will go over to the Flyers.
So the Flyers will take over on downs after the incomplete pass, and with about 1:45 left here in the game, we'll see if the Flyers try to add any more points here. They're just content to take this one to the locker room.
I imagine at 1:40 we're going to be kneeling this, but maybe it look like they're lined up in conventional formation.
Ebar is the ball carrier.
And it looks like that every Flyer has been able to get into this game. I see even more substitution, so it looks like Mike Green is maybe getting every player on the field, which is just a credit to the coaching staff.
When you're faced with a medical emergency, Christus Shreveport Bossier Health System is here to provide experience.
So, John, I think it's safe to say we can start thinking about the second round of the playoffs now. We can tell our viewers that our opponent for next week's game is likely to be Vanderbilt Catholic. They currently have a 21-9 lead over St. Louis Catholic, although clearly that one's not over. Vanderbilt Catholic was the higher seeded team in that matchup. So if that holds up, that's form holding. Ebarb on the carry that time will pick up about 3 yards, and will make it 3rd and 6. About 45 seconds left here in the first half. I mean, in the first half, in the football game.
But you're right, David. I mean, for those of y'all listening, the Division II playoff bracket is pretty darn strong. And St. Thomas More, who played with everybody last year, they are a 4 seed, I believe, and Vanderbilt Catholic being a 6 seed is going to be something the Flyers are going to have a team to play next week. So I fully expect the quality of competition to be significantly greater next week.
Flyers will advance to the quarterfinal round of the playoffs.
All right, so we'll be right back to wrap it up. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
Some think the best place for cancer treatment is a long way away. We believe in the healing power of home at Christus Cancer Treatment Center.
Thank you all for coming. But this party isn't for me, it's for Tom, for all the rides to chemo. And to Joanne for the casseroles. And Sarah for making this hair kind of work. Thank you.
Treat your cancer where your life is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Okay. All right. Real quick, just want to make sure I get this out there. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to the 68th Annual Style Show on November 10th. Whoa. Oh, never mind. Read the wrong side of that one. Somebody's got to direct me better. All right, so here we go. Total yardage for tonight. Loyola had 322 yards in the first half, 42 in the second, compared to Haynes Academy's 38 in the first, 46 in the second. Grand total of 364 for the Flyers to 84 for Haynes Academy. Great job by the Flyer defense, for sure, John, and something we're going to have to see moving forward if they expect to continue on in the Division II playoffs. Looks like an update on that score we gave you a minute ago. Vanderbilt Catholic now leads St. Louis 21-12, so St. Louis has cut that lead down by 3 since we gave that to you a couple of seconds ago. If Vanderbilt Catholic goes on to win, that game will be here next Friday. If St. Louis were to pull the upset here in the fourth quarter at that game, then we would travel to St. Louis. So depending on who do you want to play, where do you want to go? But as far as tonight goes, fantastic job by the Flyers. Tonight they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Business-like victory. Everybody got to play. John, I think Coach Green couldn't be any happier right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was scripted well, but the question that we had at the very beginning of this ball game was, how does the team going to react when you have your biggest playmaker out? And we saw what the Flyers are going to do. They changing personnel, and they were successful with what they were trying to do. And that's going to be one of the biggest things. You know from your years of coaching, when you have adversity that hits your team, and you're lucky if you have a season that adversity doesn't hit your team. But when you have adversity, it's your senior leaders that really should lead the way through that adversity. And I liked what I saw from the senior leaders on this team. We've made comment after comment about the way that Kenyatta Davis has played over the last month, maybe 2 months. We've talked about how Marshall Bryan has played over the last 6 weeks. And then, you look at Corin Jackson and Van Norman and Jacob Lafitte. I mean, the senior leaders are the ones that the kids are going to have to get behind. And one of the greatest things is, here's one of your senior leaders, Trey Taylor, who is right there in the mix trying to help coach the kids that are right there with him. And it really is a special group of kids. It's a small senior class. There's only 8 of them, but really a special group of young men.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up from here at Mesmer Stadium. Great night for the Flyers. They'll win this one 41-0. Next week, we're not quite sure where we'll be yet, but there's a pretty darn good chance you're going to be right back here in Mesmer. And hopefully, if you're not here, you're watching us on LCP TV as we bring all the action to you from here at Mesmer Stadium. For John Carmody, for Art Carmody, for all of the folks involved in LCP TV and the Flyer Media Arts class, I'm David Winkler. Thank you for watching tonight. We'll almost certainly see you next week. You've been watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.